Today we're going to look at different text structures for expository writing. This is really important for a couple of reasons. One, expository writing is used across all curriculum. So think about like in math, when you're writing a math written response, like a short answer or a word problem. You can also see this in science when you're writing lab reports, or in history when you are responding to questions. Expository writing is one of the most common and seen types of writing. And second, this is also important just because you will have your English 1 EOC this year, where you will be asked to write an expository essay. So just keep in mind that this is something that you'll see throughout the year and outside of English class as well. So make sure you're taking notes today, as this is one type of writing that you'll really want to make sure that you understand. So what is expository writing? Kind of the fancy definition would just be that exposition is a type of written discourse that is used to explain, describe, give information, or inform using anecdotes, which are just short accounts or stories about real people or an incident. You can also use comparisons, quotes, statistics, descriptive details, definitions, charts, and graphs to help explain your information. So kind of the shortened definition would just be expository writing is where you explain something using information to help support your explanation. One thing that you do want to make sure that you do when you are writing an expository type of text is that you want to make sure that you give all information to your reader as if they don't have any prior knowledge. So you basically want to give them every single thing to help them understand what you're trying to say. And then, because clarity requires good organization, we're going to look at the 5 most common types of expository text structures today. So the 5 that we're going to look at are compare and contrast, cause and effect, problem and solution, sequence or process. This is also known as chronological, or descriptive. So these are the 5 most common expository text structures for organizing your information. So these are just some general facts, some research that helps to prove why it's important to learn about text structures. Really the big thing is just it helps you organize information. So it helps you be able to better explain a topic because you're organizing it in a way that's easy for someone else to understand. All right, so looking at the first one, we have compare and contrast. So this is just telling how 2 things are similar and different. So for example, we could look at apples and oranges. We would list out how they are alike. So both are fruits, both have skin, but then we can also talk about how they're different. So people don't eat orange skins, and oranges typically have more juice. So looking at compare and contrast, just remember you're looking at both how they're the same and how they're different. Next, we have cause and effect. This is just where you look at, you have an action and its results are explained. So cause, if students did not learn material, then the effect would be that they would perform poorly on a test. Next, we have problem and solution. So a problem and answer are suggested for this type of organization. Problem could be property is being spray painted. Solution would be that it requires a license to buy spray paint. When you're looking at problem and solution, you can present multiple solutions to a problem. That's still okay. The big thing to remember here, though, is that you don't want to confuse this with cause and effect. Cause and effect means you have something happen and then something else happens as a result, whereas problem and solution is this is something that's a problem, this is something that we don't want, and we need to list out potential ways to fix it. Then we have sequence or process writing. This is just where you give a listed step by step. So it explains how to do something or how something happens. And it basically lists out the order of those different steps. So for example, if we were going to make an omelet, we would first crack a few eggs, add cheese, cook on one side, and then flip the omelet over. And this is how to make an omelet. So we list out those steps. Last, we have descriptive writing. So this is where the author explains a topic, idea, person, place, or thing in detail by listing characteristics, features, and examples. So this is where you're just describing something. You're giving multiple details to help people understand it. So we have an example. If you're looking at describing different dark sodas or light sodas, you list out the different kinds to help people understand what it is that you're talking about. All right, so next we're going to practice. I have a few different short passages for you to read, and then I want you to determine how the text is organized. So you're going to tell me which type of text structure it is. So first one we're looking at is popular sports. So football and baseball are two of the most popular sports in the country. They have many things in common. For one, they are both team sports, and they both require players to advance to an end or home point on the playing field. However, football requires players to carry the ball to the end zone, whereas in baseball, it is the defending team that controls the ball while it is in play. So what do you think this one is? Next, we have studying for a test. Believe it or not, as important as it is, many students do not know how to study for a test. Well, studying for a test is easy. The first thing that you must do is take out your notes, open your notes up to the section that you are supposed to review, read what you wrote in your notebook. When you are done, close your notebook and see if you remember the ideas that you are studying. Still don't remember? Open your notebook, back up, and try again. Now, what type of text structure do you think this one is? Low test scores. Many students have been getting low scores on tests, and this is upsetting to parents, teachers, and students. Low test scores show that teachers aren't teaching effectively or that students aren't learning. Either way, it's an issue that we are concerned. I propose the following. Any teacher who is giving a test should open up their classroom for study groups the night and morning before the test. Maybe by giving students extra opportunities to study, we can improve students' test scores. So which text structure is this? The gym room. The gym room at the high school down the street from me is huge. Along the north and south walls are bleachers that fold up during gym. Coach pulls the bleachers out for big games. At the end of the east and west walls are basketball hoops. The basketball nets are brand new. The ceilings are very high, and at the top of the gym are many large windows. The windows go all the way around the gym. There are also ropes that are either tucked away or hang from the ceilings in the middle of the gym. The ropes intimidate some students. That is my favorite gym place. So which text structure do you think this one is? Eligibility. Being involved in after-school sports and clubs is not a right. It is a privilege. Therefore, students have to meet eligibility requirements. If students have any D's or F's, they are not allowed to play. Also, if students have behavior issues in class, they cannot be on the team or in the club. Lastly, students need to keep good attendance. If students miss school, they certainly cannot come to practice. Being on a team is a lot of responsibility. If students are not proving to be responsible, they will not be permitted to be in clubs or teams. So which text structure do you think this one is?